Well, good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's day number 6 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour, RECT, Get Wrecked for Recovery. A 48-state, 4-year ride to raise awareness that addiction recovery options are available, that you don't have to die in your addiction. There's churches, Celebrate Recoveries, and rescue missions all over the nation, all over the world, that just want to help you, talk to you, and love you if you find yourself battling addiction. And this is state number 32, Ohio, on the Ride to RAGBRAI 2022, a 4,500-mile loop around the Midwest, starting in Cincinnati, Ohio to Erie Trail, up to the Michigan's Upper Peninsula, west to Glacier National Park, south to Yellowstone, and east to RAGBRAI 2022. And it was a great night last night. Got a good sleep. It was super chilly. Again, had no idea that the Amish had headlights. They are also up all night, like all night. I have not seen any today. That's why I'm parked on this side of the path. But yeah, like just really crazy that they're up all night like that. Also, the police showed up. All right, and that is a car, and that was the police. Yeah, so that was quite an interesting experience. He just asked for my ID. He said, "Are you camping here?" I said, "I am." He said, "Okay." Yeah, I said, "Is this where I'm supposed to camp?" He said, "It's not." He said, "It's actually right down here." He said, "But we've had so much flooding that I'm totally okay with you being up here. You just got to be gone tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, I'll be gone tomorrow." Anyway, so yeah, those were the events of the evening. I got the video uploaded, got all the stuff done. It looks like today is going to be either 25 miles or 60 miles. There's a town called Massillon. That's what I'm trying to get to. But it was cold this morning, and so it's like 11:30 now before I'm even getting on the road. And then there's another town kind of halfway in between, or less than that. I've got weather coming in 2 days from now, rain all day. So I'll just have to feel it all out. Y'all know how I do this. I have really no idea what I'm doing. I never do. But one cool thing this morning in the cold, you know, I had to wait a little bit extra for it to warm up and the sun to come over this big like mountain hill. And a guy named Mike rolled up, and as we got to talking, he told me that his brother Matthew had passed away from addiction. And so I was able to talk to him, and it was interesting because Matthew and I had the same testimony almost exactly. So it was kind of an emotional experience for me this morning. It was emotional for him too, and he stood there. He literally stood there in the cold so long talking to me that he was shaking. And I was like, "Mike, you need to go warm up, man." Anyway, get on the road. You'll see more of that right about now. Also, one more quick thing before I get going here. One thing Brian really liked, and one thing I'm really liking myself, is this right here. It's called a steer stopper, right? And so you can lock this in, and it keeps your handlebars straight so that when you lean in on like the click stand, I don't have to worry about the bike falling over anymore. Like, this is now probably my favorite bike gadget, the steer stopper and the click stand combined, because I can put the bike anywhere, and like I don't even need the click stand. I can just lean either the front bucket or the back bucket against something, and the bike will just stand there without falling over when the wheel tips. So if you're a bike tourer, here's a good tip for you. That combo, it's a good one to have. Let's go. Well, this is just like a scene out of a movie. Absolutely gorgeous. This river flowing through here, the little bridge. But what I'm wondering though is that there's like 3 picnic pavilions at this park. It looks like a town park of some kind. One would think that they'd be like, hey, cycle tourists, stop in, use our facilities, buy things in our town. But there is no indication that that is allowed at all. And I wonder why. Anyway, I'm going to eat my Subway and then keep on pedaling. Let's go. Well, I had to stop and get a picture here. Galatians Street, you know, Galatians 2:20. For I am crucified with Christ. Nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Another cool thing, while I was standing here, the FedEx guy pulled up and he was like, "Are you on YouTube?" And I was like, "I am." So he's like, "Well, I'll subscribe." So thanks for subscribing. Anyway, gotta keep riding. So I just wanted to pull over for a second and show you all this. There's like this section of pines right here. Conifers something, I'm not really sure, but it just made me realize that since I've been in Ohio, I don't think I've seen any pine trees. And like seeing some finally reminded me that they even exist. There's a little patch over here, and then there's this patch right here. Really weird. I guess they're transplants or something. I have no idea. All right, so while I was at breakfast back there, my bacon and ham and American cheese Subway, I did get a chance to look up the towns that are ahead, the camping options that are ahead, the weather that is ahead. What I'm going to do is like a 22-mile day-to-day. That'll put me in Millersburg, and I'll have to stay in like a Comfort Inn, right? That will set me up to ride 40, 40, and 40 into Cleveland. And then there's campgrounds at each place and a hostel in Cleveland that I can stay at. And the first campground that I make it to Could possibly even be somewhere that I could stay for 2 nights if that bad weather day in 2 days looks like more bad weather than I want to deal with. You know, depending on which way the wind's going and all that kind of stuff. So, either way, I will check it all out and keep you guys updated as the day rolls along here.
Turn left onto North Water Street.
Here we go. I tell you what, this has been a beautiful part of the trail. Like, it's just an elevated rail bed through 2 marshes, and it's been like that for several miles. The temperature is absolutely perfect. Like, this is like air-conditioned bike riding. I could ride this all day. The only problem would be, though, I would definitely run out of time at the end of the day to be able to complete the ride. Hello. And so I would be on trafficked roads after dark, and I never do that. Like, the only way I can plan to do that is like I did in the Tetons or in Louisiana, where I knew we'd be on a bike path for the end of it. And there is a bike path at the end of this day, but looking at the time and what it would take, it just won't work. I have to plan about 2 hours for every 10 miles. I go 10 miles an hour, but I have to count in time to, like, stop and talk to people, stop at gas stations, stop for breaks, stop and film, set up filming, change out batteries. Like, I can usually pretty much guarantee if I spend 5 hours on the bike, I've spent another 5 hours doing. So anyway, I don't have much farther to roll in here to Millersburg, and I'll be able to end this day early. Get some fresh legs for the next little run here. I might even ride through the rain on that bad day. Highly doubtful, but I might. Anyway, phone's ringing. Gotta go. Love you guys. See you later. Oh, looky there. It's an Amish parking stall at the Wally World. Who'd have thunk it? I actually pulled in to get a new Lucy light. I don't know what happened to my other one. I'll have to go back and look in pictures. I had it on the top of my bucket to charge.
Turn left toward Holmes County Trail.
And somewhere along the way,
turn right onto Holmes County
it disappeared.
Millersburg.
Anyway, got that, some Stinger waffles. Now like a half a mile to go. Let's do this. All right, well, I made it to the hotel. Like 22 miles today, 2 hours and 22 minutes on the bike. You know, I'm always like, as you could probably tell throughout the day today, I'm really hesitant on spending money on a hotel. I can't stand to do it. And so the OTET, the Ohio to Erie Trail, has been really complicated finding a good campsite. Number one, it's winter, so the trees are barren. Anywhere that normally in the summertime would be a great little hole to dive off into is not a hole. Like, it's just an open area that I'd be in. Two, it's like, you know, banked on both sides in most places, so even trying to get down to it with such a heavy bike, it's really, really tough to do. And so, you know, this area here, between really that Bridge of Dreams and Danville and Massillon seemed to be like a camping desert. There's just nothing. And so I saw this Comfort Inn, and I started looking at the days, and it's, you know, 40 miles, and then 40 miles, and then 40 miles. I think I can make it kind of work. And so I texted Janelle Wissler, who is with, like, she's got points with Quality Inn and Comfort Inn and stuff. And I was like, hey, any chance on a hotel in Millersburg, Ohio tonight? And she never responded. And so I was like, man, I don't know what to do. So finally I was just like, you know what? I feel like the Lord's telling me go ahead and do it. So I roll in here, pull my bike in, and on the wall is a picture of a bicycle. And so, you know, I love those little, like, it's almost like Hansel and Gretel, you know, how they drop breadcrumbs and they find them on the way home. That's how I feel sometimes. Like, I get the opportunity to, like, see all these little things where God's like, this is where I want you. And so I no sooner than I get in and sit down, Janelle texts me back. She says, I'm so sorry, I was taking a nap. You know, where are you going? How can I help? And I was like, actually, I've already checked in. Don't worry about it. I said, but this Comfort Inn, and so for you cycle tourists out there who are doing the OTET, this Comfort Inn was like $100. It's better than some Hiltons I've stayed in. Like, the room is huge. The quality of the, you know, like, everything is amazing. It's strange to me that the Ramada in Westerville and this cost roughly the same thing, and the just giant difference. You know, there was like squeaking noises and screaming at the Ramada, and it took me a minute to finally figure out that it was actually kids jumping on the bed in the bedroom above me. I thought it was something totally different, you know. But it wasn't. It was just, you know, kids jumping on their bed. But this one is like quiet. I've got a nice view out the window of a hill, and it's just, it's nice. It's nice for what you're paying. So if you're cycle touring, definitely make this a stop. If you know, either credit card camp or if you want to, like, space it out to where this is your stop, it's worth it. Comfort Inn, Millersburg, Ohio. Gets an A+ on my list for bicycle touring. So anyway, while I'm sitting here on the bed, Janelle texts a Venmo of $100. I was like, oh my gosh, you did not have to do that. You know, I like even told her in my text message, hey, don't worry about it. Look, this is a 4-month bike ride. I'm sure there's going to be other times that, like, you know, all the stars align and I can't go a certain, you know, distance, or the distance that I go, the only place is a Quality Inn or whatever. And when she sent the Venmo, she sent in the Venmo. Sorry, I didn't read your message until I sent it. So cool. Thank you, Janelle. And her husband John is actually on that Ends of the Earth Key West Bike Ride 2022 right now. But anyway, I got in here early, took a quick nap, ordered some jalapeno pizza from Pizza Hut. That should be here shortly. And yeah, I'm going to start cutting and editing this video. Tomorrow morning looks like it's going to be, you know, coldish, 42-ish. But I should be able to, like, get the clothes on that I need and just go right out into it. Rather than like this morning where, you know, when you're breaking down camp and it's frigid, you almost don't want to move. You almost, you know, just want to stay warm rather than start, or at least I do, rather than start doing things. And so that kind of put a damper on this morning. But I'm so glad that it did, because I met Mike, and I get to ride for Matthew tomorrow, so that's kind of neat. Anyway, so that's it for my day today. If you know anybody who's passed away from addiction in any form or fashion, please drop their name in the comments, or find me through that Popple link It's got all the ways you can find me, all the Redeeming Eden social media, Instagram, Facebook, all the stuff. And I would love to ride for your person and celebrate their life with you for a day. If you know anybody who's actively addicted, you know anybody in general that likes bikes or just, walks on 2 legs, please share this with them. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. It's crazy. Like, since I've been in Ohio, the channel has grown more than any one state to date. And I don't even know what's going on with that. I see some other people are sharing it, like to bicycle, bike packing groups and stuff. So for all those that are new to the channel, thanks. Go back and watch some of the other ones. Once we get it monetized, those things will count toward building Redeeming Eden the Garden Rehab, which is what the ride's all about. And do know that this is a non-profit ministry through International Gospel Outreach. And you can find that link in the description. Also, click the down arrow or in that pop-up link. And also find out more about the Cody Jordan Forever Funeral Fund. That's a fund that I started last year that helps families who have loved ones that pass away from addiction, helps pay the funeral costs for those families. And we've helped one family so far sent a check to be able to help with that funeral, because those are always unexpected. But yeah, all in all, great day on the bike. Really loved that one section of trail there where it was just, elevated roadbed. But short day. I think I was able to capture enough video for a good length video today. And yeah, man, from here at this Comfort Inn in Millersburg, Ohio, I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night.